Hello and welcome to I guess just the story time? Wolfy Tales? Maybe Wolfy Tales. Wolfy Tales sounds kind of catchy. So today I'm actually going to tell you guys a story that I've been kind of meaning to record for a little while. And this is actually because the content that's going to start coming out on this channel is going to be a little different than what I've been normally doing. That's for three reasons. One, there hasn't been a single good Wii U game coming out, or to have come out, in a while. And so if you notice, the last Let's Play I really did was Splatoon. I mean, I played Twilight Princess HD, but I didn't think it was worth replaying it. I mean, I could have done like a walkthrough of it, but I played that game so many times it's not even funny. This thing Reason number two is I had to deal with moving. I briefly addressed that in the reasoning video for why I haven't been posting. And reason number one is I just haven't had time. And so the content that I'm actually going to be posting is going to be different. It's going to be, well, kind of like this, real life. And one of the reasons why I'm doing a lot of this is it's just a bit easier for me to record this and edit at the moment. I currently do not have my editing software the way I like it. I have an older version that has a lot of features missing in it, like... So today, if you can read the title, is a story about skateboarding and my relationship with skateboarding, because it's actually really weird. Right here, I got this skateboard deck. This is a 775, and I was smart enough to write the date, and it's very faded in there, of when I got it and when I stopped writing it. And now, here's what's the amazing thing. I did the math, and it seems to be right. This board is actually dated 2007 to 2013. So, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I stopped writing this board. 2 years before I stopped writing this board, I left this board in Kentucky. And years before that, I did all of this damage to it. All of it. And I figured I kind of should start from the beginning, but it'll explain why there's going to be a lot of skateboarding related content in the next few videos. But before I do that, I figure if we're going to go way back, I should dress sort of how I would have dressed back then. I know, so different, right? Okay, so now that we're buckled up and we're dressed in the way back kind of appearance, honestly I felt overdressed. So, believe it or not, my life has actually been intertwined with skateboarding since a long... skateboarding has been a thing in my mind so long that I can't remember a time without it. And it all started back when my father first took me out to this parade. And in this parade, there were like military tanks, and like we were able to like climb in these decommissioned military vehicles. And part of this celebration in, I have no idea where, I can't remember, was this skate park. Like this area was close to a skate park, and this skate park had nothing but like vert ramps everywhere. There were no bowls, there were no stairs, it was just straight up half pipes everywhere. Mini ramps, half pipes. And at the time, all I knew them as was a half pipe, because that's what my father told me they were. And I saw skateboarding for the first time on that day. I saw these guys building up speed and doing these crazy tricks off of these half pipes. And to a much younger version of myself, these things were unfathomably larger than I could have ever imagined. And I was terrified and mesmerized, and I wanted to skate from that day. And now, my parents, you know, when your little 8-year-old son says, hey, I want to learn how to skateboard, you know, your parents are like, okay, they go to Walmart and they get you a Walmart board. And that's honestly the worst way to learn to skate. And I had this Scooby-Doo Walmart board for all of a week before we moved out into the middle of nowhere. There was no concrete to practice on. And I sort of didn't touch a skateboard for years and years. And eventually we get to the Great Recession, where I was living in the middle of nowhere. And then my middle of nowhere, everything there was pretty much in an instant gone. I was relocated from one part of the state, which is in the middle of the state, to the other part, which is in the southern kind of inward portion of the state. And in that portion, it was city. And I actually kind of miss the city because I used to live in the city beforehand. And it's weird because now I miss the countryside, but at the same time, I could probably never survive there. Middle school, it's my second year of middle school, and I switched schools 3 times that year. And I'd pretty much given up on making friends and becoming, friends with people, because I never knew when it was going to happen again. I had no trust that I wasn't going to move again. And so I wasn't really trying to make friends. I was kind of dressed, like this. And these skaters that lived close by asked me, "Do you skate?" I said no, but I had this little Scooby-Doo board. I could kind of ollie, I think. And it was weird because I got mixed in with them almost entirely without even trying. And from that point on, I was skating every day. And I went out skating every day with my friend Ryan for 2 years. Until the inevitable happened, and the reason I did not want to make any friends, I moved again. And this time I moved to the city I currently live in. And this city is a coastal city. Now there's a couple differences between an urban inland city and a coastal city. For one, in the coastal cities, this isn't that popular. Longboarding, which is also on my wall, is a bit more popular because it's all about cruising and carving, and it's a completely different world than this. And so for a year, I still tried to skate alone with no friends. I didn't go out nearly as often. I stopped going out every day, and it was like every other day, maybe on the weekends only. And I stopped kind of just going out as much. And because of that, I lost a lot of what I had learned when I was just crazy skateboarding all the time. And eventually, I was told by my dad, when we went to go visit him up in Kentucky, that there was a skate park. It's a skate park, and we were gonna go to it. And if you know anything about Kentucky, it actually does have some pretty epic skate parks. So I brought my board along with me, this damaged up, beaten, worn out board. I brought it with me to Kentucky. And we never once went to the skate park. And because I really didn't get to skate, I was in the middle of nowhere, no concrete. I accidentally left my board at the house in Kentucky. But I got it back, and I could do nothing. And it was a depressing feeling, someone who was out skating all the time, skating with their friends, and essentially using this board for years. Honestly, the fact that I did not snap it, I mean, it is kind of snapped. You can see right there in the middle, it's kind of snapped, but it's not fully snapped. Losing this was just, it was the end of it for me. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cruise around. I'm going to get around using a skateboard whenever I can. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This isn't even that different. But I personally like this look right here. In fact, it's kind of weird. You would think the Revive guys actually know me, because like my colors are mostly green, and the fact that this is a mostly green pocket is pretty awesome. So as I got older and I got my second longboard after retiring this one after, I think it was 3 years. After retiring it 3 years later, I got my second longboard. And my second longboard was half the size of a normal longboard. It was about the same length as a normal skateboard, and riding it around was so weird. It was like there was this thing in my brain that I was forgetting, and the second I started riding around on something similar to it, it came back. And it's unreal how forceful it came back. I went from not caring that I didn't have a normal deck to skate on to wanting one so badly that I saved up immediately and bought it. And I lost so much, but there was one thing I never forgot. There's one trick, and it's so weird that the ollie is the one trick I never really forgot. I was able to still do it. I reassembled the zero board and I ollied. I also pop shoved it, and now I kind of lost those a little bit after an ankle injury that I'll get into in a moment. And so as my style changed, so did my preferences. Instead of needing super light trucks like I used to, I actually preferred slightly heavier. In fact, I went from Thunders to Tensors to Caliber back to Thunders, because I found that I actually really liked Thunders. Both GamerGuts and Lecraton, they voiced their interest to skate with me, and I suddenly had people who wanted to skateboard with me, and I had people to skate with, and so I actually ran out and I was the Oprah Winfrey of skateboards. I was like, you get a deck, and you get a deck, you all get a deck, except you, because you're on a scooter. More on that. I actually don't hate scooter kids, it's just a joke. And I got together my own little ragtag crew of people who can't skate to ride skateboards. It is the funniest thing. And almost immediately GamerGuts got hurt. Lecraton actually learned how to ollie, but that's as far as he really got so far. And I was working on kickflips again. So I had ollie, pop shove it, and then I was going back for kickflips. And then I injured myself really badly. I actually, no joke, had a 3rd degree sprain in this ankle right here down there. And it still hurts. This is months later. This is like almost 3 months later. I can skate again, which is why I'm making this video, because there's going to be skateboarding in there. I know, nothing impressive. Trust me, I am very aware that I may be one of the worst skaters out there, especially because of how long I've been doing it. It is pathetic. I'm just going to say that now. It is pathetic that I have been skating for 10 years. And I still can't kickflip properly. I started seeing things on YouTube and YouTube skateboarding, and it was weird because although my group consists of 3 people, it's 3 people who are watching these 8 or 9 people at the same time, and all of us are learning from them, and at the same time, it's encouraging us to skate more. So I ended up liking Revive skateboards just off of their skateboard merit alone. So how does the story end? Well, the story's not really over. What are my goals for skateboarding? Well, for one, I want to get good at it. And that's about it. I don't care about what happens after I get good. I'm 22 years old. There's no chance in hell that I will even go for sponsorship at this point. But the big thing is I just want to enjoy the sport that I have enjoyed for years. I've wanted to do for years. And so, to me, skating is like an extension of something that I've always wanted to get really good at. And oddly enough, and this is where I say oddly enough, I'm not bad at it, but I'm not good at it. I injured my ankle, as I said earlier, and I was unable to skate for a total of 2 whole months. In those 2 months, I completely lost pop shovings. And that bugs me a little bit because I was able to get those back almost instantly, and now I can't seem to really get them. So now I'm back down to ollies. And this is where the journey starts. Because first it's an ollie, then a 180, shove it, heel flip, kick flip. I never learned 180s, front side or back side. I never learned front shove-its, but I did land a kick flip, and I have landed heel flips. But I never really learned either of those tricks, because although I could do tricks out of that league, I completely skipped mastering those tricks. And so I'm going to start with those tricks, and I hope you guys will join me on this incredibly weird journey as I try to learn how to skate again. And I've already got 180s down. A trick I never learned. I got them down in 30 minutes, and I don't know why I never really practiced them before, because they're actually really fun. So honestly, I thank you guys for watching. This video is kind of pointless, but it explains why there's going to be a lot of skateboarding content, because this is technically a part of my life that I ignored for years, but now is back, and it's back with sort of a weird vengeance. It's gotten to the point where I missed it so much, and then when I got back to it, I was so excited, and that's actually why I injured myself. So I want to thank you guys. Seriously, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking. Thank you guys for commenting. And I hope that I can get some more video game content in between everything. But right now, it's really hard for me to do the animations. It's really hard for me to do a lot of things. But I can do this. And because I can do this, we're going to have to work with this. So, thank you guys. Seriously. Wolfy, out.